Georgia is not for you in 2026 if you don't like these three things. Hello, welcome. My name is Sam. I haven't been here for a while. I think around a year because I didn't really feel like creating much content. If you are following me on LinkedIn, so you likely read some of my posts related to my work at Liberland or something like that. But I was not creating any YouTube videos, and I have to admit that I recently got an email from one of you that you found my previous videos from the last years and that it helped you and motivated you to move to Georgia. I like it. I'm happy for you and welcome, please. And so I wanted to slightly ask you, if you don't mind, please share feedback with people you are following because it is great to have some kind of feedback. I don't record these videos for myself to feel like, oh, I like my hair today or not. Whatever, right? I do it for you and I love to share with people. I think it's about some kind of connection with others and it's great to share one's experience. I think it's some kind of natural need. Here is my Christmas tree. Okay, now we can continue. Okay, so some context. I live in Georgia for 5 years. I moved in the country in 2020 in November, and since then I had I would say kind of emotional swings relationship with Georgia. I was coming, I was leaving, and I finally decided to intentionally be here a few times. So we broke up for some time last year. I did decide to leave. It was in September, in September I left, and I came back in at the end of April, at the beginning of May this year. Last year. So in 2025, I returned to Georgia, and it was with intention. I realized that Georgia exactly fits my needs. Or better, my objectives on what I resolve. So when it comes to goal setting, now it's the beginning of the year, so maybe you were setting some objectives for the next year. And my favorite kind of tool is to write down where I am now, like point A, and in different areas. And this way I do see some struggles and I do see also the positive things. And I wrote this down and I realized that, when I was traveling, what I was actually missing was more kind of sense of connection. And with age, I don't know, maybe not with age, but whatever, I do feel I want to invest myself into longer term things. And this includes friendships. And it's much more difficult when I do travel from one place to another. So I do prefer to build long term friendships in one location because it makes sense. And I succeeded. I returned and I made some new friends, and I'm really happy about it. I made quite a few friends actually last year. Even some were more about traveling. So one girl, she lives in Moscow, and we met in Belgrade, and then she came twice to me in Tbilisi. But I'm really happy. So I understand my own personal needs, and I do optimize location for them. So if I wanted to grow more, like I would say financially or from self-actualization perspective in the business kind of way, I would likely move to Dubai. If I was more into finance, I would likely move to Hong Kong. I don't like West that much for life because I care about safety. And so you know yourself the best. So please optimize for this. That's why I was mentioning it. Because it doesn't make sense to move to Georgia because you saw this nice girl on YouTube and Georgia works for her, but it doesn't work for you. I would say that people who move here mostly are contractors. There are some business owners as well, but mostly people I encounter, I don't really talk to them. I don't really meet them much, but I can see that there are a lot of contractors. And so like remote workers, a lot of guys in IT. I would say it's not women who are moving here much. I think that it's mostly couples, but then there are a lot of women in Georgian population. So for this, please ask Georgian or foreigner males what they think about it. So I cannot comment on this. Like if you care about building a relationship with with a Georgian woman or not. But I do have some actually friends, foreigners who moved in, who are female. So, okay, it's not a rule, but I think that they're less. It's my personal perspective. So, this is for you to sort of understand and what to expect. It's not that there are not business owners. There are business owners. Maybe it's just that overall in the population there are not so many of these people. I don't know. But maybe I do compare it to Dubai. So if I go to Dubai, there are much more, I'd say, people who initiate ideas. Okay, so I think that Georgia is not for you, though, to move in 2026 if you want to have a luxury place only and you cannot bear that there are some people who live in a very simple way. So you can encounter this even in Tbilisi. There are some weird even contrasts. Like you can literally have one street which is, full of tags and graffiti. And then the second street will be super nice and clean and walkable, etc. I personally live in the old town and I like it because it feels sort of authentic. People live in this slow pace. I can hear the dogs and so on. And I like this. If I wanted to move somewhere here, I would go to Vake area, which is where expats are. And it's because there are some parks and it's walkable. And I do like to walk. And also second option for me would be like Tknete, which is area above Vake, and it's close to Vake and Saportalo, which are two popular areas where are most of the services with, I would say, better services. But I wouldn't like to live too far from the city, and I do have a car now. So everything is conditional based on what you want, how you want to live, and what you need. I know that there are people who want to swim. I haven't been even thinking about it, but then they prefer to live around Vake, where they have a swimming pool, or some live even far, where some other swimming pool, whatever. So this is not important. Anyway, so the thing is, there are contrasts. I want to make separate video just purely for life in Georgia in 2026. But if you want to have luxury, if you feel triggered by contrasts, if you prefer more kind of this very clean and very, it's not that Georgia would be messy. Georgia is safe, which is what I like, or feels very safe at least. And it is safe. I mean, it is safe. But I feel more people are watching like in the village. It feels somehow as a village. Local people do initiate some contact between others and are talkative and so on. If you prefer this kind of more like distance and posh areas, please go to Emirates or somewhere else, but it's not really here. Okay, so I hope that I delivered the idea. Second thing, if you like, and this will be a topic, likely, if you like to participate in protests, like you literally want to move somewhere where you sort of want to engage into local political life or something, I think Georgia is not a place. I would rather go somewhere to Europe and spend your life protesting. I want to live. I do want to optimize my life. I want to live well, and this matters to me. So Georgia is good for me. But if I wanted to participate in the protests, I might likely face some problems. It's not a good place for it, and it's not really how I want to spend my time. But if you do, if you like it, if you feel like you want to be heard, kind of, or I don't know what sense you have to go, so please don't go to Georgia. It's not good. Go to France and pay 60% tax. Okay. Third, fast pace. If you want to live somewhere where it's intense, it's fast paced, it pushes you, there's this energy of like everyone hustling, don't go to Georgia. Georgia is the opposite. So I would say that the mentality of local people is more like, let's enjoy friendships, family, drink wine, eat food, and that's the meaning of life. It's very human, actually. So it's okay, but there's more kind of like work is not a value here. But then there are expats. So I do prefer to just create my circle with people I like, and with them I co-work, I go to the cafes, I talk about business and so on. You can get it, especially if you're Russian speaking, then there are a lot of such people Russian speaking and they have their own communities and they kind of networking, etc. But if for English speaker it's less of it, I will likely restore my networking community this year in 2026, but I will see how much resource I have for it. However, this is what I do like actually about Georgia. I can move online fast, I can travel anywhere, and it's very convenient for me to travel to both Asia and Europe from here. However, then I, log out from my work and I get out, and the pace of the city is very slow. And contrarily, this was my issue when I was too workaholic. I had to slow down. It was difficult for me, and being in the surroundings that does actually slow down, it's beneficial because I feel like I can breathe out. So yeah, if you want a fast pace, go to Dubai, go to London, something like that. Go to go to the US. But Georgia as a country is not really a place for you. So yeah, but if these things are not essential for you, if it doesn't trigger you to the point that you wouldn't really like it to be around it, so yeah, Georgia is a fine place for life, and it feels like home. Let me record another video for you about how is it to live in Georgia in 2026.